Acne. We've all experienced those pesky little bumps on our skin, yet they live on our skin, on our faces, rent-free every single time. I have suffered from acne throughout my entire high school life up until college. My skin has become less acne prone since, but there will still be times when I have acne flare-ups or a pimple here and there. I actually have one right here right now. Usually I get acne around my nose area, especially like here, like in this crevice. Forehead, of course, like around my temple, and also these areas where my hair kind of like covers parts of my forehead. Occasionally I would also get like an acne here and there on my cheekbone area, and I think that's really because I just wear masks. If acne is something that you are struggling with, then maybe this video can help. 안녕, Ray입니다. 반갑습니다. Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. My name is Ray, and if you don't know who I am, that's okay because you can find out more about me here on all social media platforms. My skin type is oily, sensitive, reactive, dehydrated, and sometimes, depending on the season, it can also be combination. My roommate just got back, so if you hear some noise in the background, that's what it is. Before we begin, I just want to remind you that skincare products are just one way of taking care of our skin and our skin concerns. The best and most effective way, of course, is to consult a dermatologist. But of course, I know that not everyone has access to skin medical care like myself. It is just way too expensive to go to a dermatologist or even an esthetician. Not to mention those spas are so expensive nowadays. Unless you're in South Korea, I feel like there's really no reason for you to even go to a spa, a facial parlor, is that what it's called? I don't even. It's just way too expensive for the average person like you and I. So I hope that this video helps you in a very small way if you are looking at K-beauty for your acne concerns. On this channel, I review Asian skincare products so that you can shop with confidence. Everything I say in this video comes from my personal experiences. While these products might have worked for me, it may not be the case for you. So please keep that in mind before you start typing away in the comment section. With that being said, let's go. 우리 가자. The first product I want to talk about is the Pyunkang Calming Low pH Foaming Cleanser. This is a water-based cleanser that instantly foams up or emulsifies out of the pump bottle. This pump is just amazing. I love it so much. But what makes this cleanser so good for oily and acne-prone skin is that it's not stripping, yet it really cleans your pores. Whenever I have an acne flare-up, I would use this cleanser, and I would use it day and night. There is no added fragrance, so you don't have to worry about irritation. Calming and anti-inflammatory ingredients include Centella asiatica, tea tree leaf extract, madecassoside, asiatic acid. It also has honeysuckle flower extract, which is really common across all of Pyunkang's products. Honeysuckle flower extract, of course, helps fight free radicals in our skin. And lastly, willow bark extracts, also very common in Pyunkang's products, are really good for exfoliating our skin. This cleanser by far has the best foam as far as I know. It's very fluffy, it's very cloudy, it's very soft. Oh, just so good. And again, it's super convenient. You don't even have to lather it up. It just comes out of the pump bottle, emulsified, and ready to go. You know, sometimes you come across a product and you think, this is definitely a gimmick, and yet it'll prove you wrong. For me, it was the Sun By Me 30 Days Miracle product line, specifically the toner and the cream, which I will talk about later. This toner, super watery, it feels like water. I get a lot of those bumpy textures on my skin whenever I am losing sleep or due to stress. So I usually apply this toner on a cotton pad and then just gently swipe my face with it. Usually within 2 to 3 nights I will see results because I would notice that my skin calms down and the acne that's starting to build up would finally surface. So in a way, I feel like this toner really helps speed up the process of the pimples maturing. I don't know if that's proven to be true, but for me, it actually did that. It does have a very strong minty smell from the peppermint oil, so if you're not into essential oils or just any kind of oils in your skincare products, or that if oils in the past have caused you to break out, then I would skip this toner. For me, this toner worked really well, and I've been keeping this on my cabinets as a emergency kind of product, I would say. Even though this product is called 30 Days Miracle Toner, I don't think you should be using it every single day for 30 days. For me, whenever I notice my skin starts to form these acnes or pimples, I would start using this for one night. and then I'll skip a night and then use it again the following night. So earlier when I said like, oh, I use this for 2 to 3 nights and then I will see results, I'm actually talking about whenever the nights I do use it, if that makes any sense. So it's not like within 3 days my acne will go away. It's more like maybe 6 days, because I use it day 1, 3, and then 5. Days 2 and 4 I don't use this product. So it really is more like 5 to 6 days you would see results, not 2 and 3. Just to be clear, I feel like a lot of people would be like, oh my gosh, what do you mean by 2 and 3? And then suddenly it's not consecutive days. Relax, relax, relax. It's just a few days off, okay? Listen, I teach English. I don't teach math. Long story short, I feel like using this toner is really overkill if you use it every single day. In fact, I feel like it might cause more damage than good if you do use it every single day, because it does have AHA, BHA, and PHA, even though they are in a fairly low percentage. All these hydroxy acids and exfoliating agents really can cause a little bit of damage if you keep using it every single day, which is why I like to use more of a cushioning method in terms of skipping a night, or I guess people call it skin cycling. I don't really like that term. I feel like it's so confusing. For me, it's like cushioning, right? Or sandwiching. I think of like actives as the meat. The nights when you don't use it, that's the bread. So I feel like that's how I usually kind of picture it. But anyways, definitely don't have to use this every single night. I usually skip a night, so it's every other night. This is probably the reason why I wanted to make this video, because the one warrior that's been taking care of my acne problems for the past 2 years, and I never gave it credit. I feel so bad, okay? I just feel bad. It's also from a brand that is not super well known. This is Be The Skin, aka BTS, which a lot of people tend to use. I don't. I call it Be The Skin. I don't call it BTS. Anyway, this one is the Pore Zero BHA Plus Serum with willow bark extract BHA of 1%. Whenever I see a pulsing, throbbing pimple on my face, I immediately turn to this serum. And I know I hate when content creators on social media, they go like, this is the best serum ever. And I'm just like, oh, I can't believe I'm the guy doing that right now. But seriously, this, I don't know how to make this sound less like a salesperson's pitch. But for real, when I have acne, right? Let's say, okay, I was using this on this last night as well. I just realized like every time I have acne, I immediately go for this one. It's a no-brainer for me at this point. It's like, oh, acne there? Okay, let me just put some of this on. And I don't even use a lot. I thought I needed like my whole face to be covered with a serum, but honestly, I realized I can actually use this as a spot treatment. Of all the serums I've used for my acne, this one is probably the only serum that works for me. I would say Sun By Me's 30-Day Miracle Serum, not the toner, the serum, that one didn't do enough for me. I feel like that one was definitely more gimmicky than anything. But this serum actually worked for me, and I just love everything about this. If Be The Skin were ever to tell me, hey, we're gonna discontinue all the products in our line, what product will you want to save? It will be this one. It's like a no-brainer for me. It honestly is not even a choice. It's like, this is the only answer. Part of the reason why I love this serum so much is because it's so affordable. And you know me, like, I think that skincare should be affordable to everyone. It should be accessible to everyone. The founder of Be The Skin really made it his goal to provide accessible skincare to everyone. And that's why I love him. This is the love letter to Be The Skin 사장님. 사랑해. And I honestly feel like we need a lot more companies to step up and do what Be The Skin is doing, okay? Because you guys are really just out here charging us like $30 for like a toner. Meanwhile, I've seen this serum go for $10, $12 at Style Korean on Amazon. Like I said, I like using this serum as a spot treatment, especially on areas where I have acne. But the main goal for the serum originally was to target blackheads, whiteheads, and just clear the pores. So in addition to me using this as a spot treatment, I also like to apply a few drops on my nose and also this area, because that's where I have the most enlarged pores. I call them my craters. So as I was writing the script for this video, that's when I finally checked the ingredients list, and I realized I never did. That's a bad habit. You should really check the ingredients list to make sure that nothing on it is going to give you an allergic reaction. Unlike me, I just went straight on and put it all over my face, and it worked, luckily. But I did find out through the process of making this video that this serum does have fragrance, and it kind of broke my heart because I was like, in my head this whole time, no fragrance, it's so great. And then here I am like, there's what in there right now? But with that in mind, clearly I still enjoyed the serum because I did not know it had fragrance in it. And even after I realized it had fragrance in it, it's been months after I've used it. So clearly the fragrance did not break me out, and it did not cause any kind of irritations on my skin. And to be very honest, you will not even notice the fragrance because I did not notice it. And I think it's because the herbal scent in the formulation is so strong, like the hanbang ingredients are so strong that you just will not notice that there's fragrance in it. And I kind of wish that they never even put fragrance in it because I do enjoy smelling the hanbang formula. Anyways, you know where to find the links. It's going to be in the down bar below for all these products. I honestly think that this serum is easily one of the most underrated K-beauty products ever. And on top of that, this one actually does help with my acne problems. So I do recommend this 100%, 10 out of 10, A+++++. Holy grail. Like I said, whenever I have acne, I will just go grab this one on the cabinet. It's like, if you follow content creator Ricky Chue, aka Brute Chue, then you probably know about the following product. I personally have been following Ricky for years and he commented on one of my videos like 9 years ago. I just found out because I was clearing out my comment section and then I saw his comments and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? When did this happen? 9 years ago. Okay. And I didn't respond and I feel so bad. Anyways, Ricky, hi. Brute, aka Ricky, was here? What? I think Ricky calls this moisturizer an acne safe moisturizer, and it is none other than Round Labs Birch Juice Moisturizing Cream. I love this cream so much and I'm so happy when he said that. This moisturizer is a great option for oily and dry skin who have acne concerns. I don't think this moisturizer is meant to get rid of acne for you, but it does help keep your skin cool and calm, which then helps prevent your skin from forming acne because your skin is no longer irritated. So if you're wondering what kind of moisturizer you should use to pair with your acne treatments, this moisturizer I feel like is a great choice. And I feel like birch sap has always been a very underrated skincare ingredient in terms of balancing oil and water in our skin, which also does help prevent future acne, in my opinion at least, because I love birch juice and birch sap and anything that has to do with birch trees, I love it. Circling back to Sun By Me, I've talked about Sun By Me's Miracle line in a very in-depth video, so I'm not going to go into details about the ins and outs of all their products, so I'm just going to focus on their cream. Like I said earlier, their toner is great, the cream is also really good. And in that review, I was talking about this time when I had this huge acne that formed right here, literally right here, and it created a crater. It opened up my skin, and because it did that, my skin was still trying to recover from it. I hate that pimple so much. It was stubborn, it hurt. Anyway, so I used this miracle cream that Sun By Me gave me, and I was like, this is just a gimmicky product, it's not gonna work, but at the time I was testing out those products anyway, so I was like, I might as well put the cream on my face. And so I put the cream in this area, right? I was like, oh, let me just layer a little bit more, pat it in, and just kind of, you know, go to bed with it. I don't know if this was a coincidence, a coinkadink. Pimple came right out the next morning. I was washing my face, I was using a microfiber towel to just pat my skin down, and the next thing I know, the pimple was on my towel, and I was like, what is that? What's that huge asteroid on my towel? And it was the pimple. And I checked the mirror, and lo and behold, there was this crater here that's where the pimple used to be, but it came right out. My skin was trying to heal itself. Thankfully, I had that moisturizer on because if I did not, my skin would just be super dried. That would be even worse for future problems. Does that make sense? Anyway, I don't like sharing that story too much because I feel like it sounds so ridiculous that coming out of my mouth, I feel like I'm just making stuff up. And I also feel like that story perpetuates the narrative K-beauty products or any kind of skincare products are miracle workers, which they are not, because it requires a lot of time to see results, and you normally don't see results in a few days. And it doesn't help that this product line is called 30 Days Miracle because it literally should not be like that, right? But it actually does that, and I'm just like, ooh, I love you. I also hate that you're called 30 Days Miracle. Like, it makes no sense, but it does work. My story sounded ludicrous. It always does every time I share it. Until this day, I regret not taking photos of that time when I had that pimple. Again, it goes back to like my whole trauma with high school acne. Whenever my skin is not in its best state, I don't even want to take photos at all, and I have to really start getting into the habit of documenting these things because it's really helpful for you guys, for myself, to know what works and what doesn't. So hopefully in the future I will document it. Like I said earlier, I pointed out I have a pimple here. So the next and last product I want to talk about is not actually just one product, but it's more so a category of products. Pimple patches. I don't have a particular brand that I love. Honestly, I feel like all pimple patches work the same. Some patches have the micro needles in them for added benefits, but I have not tried those before, so I'm not even gonna attempt to talk about them. Instead, I want to talk more about the regular patches that are a little bit more accessible. So I've used Cosrx's Pyunkang Yule's this one, and Elizavecca's pimple patches in the past. That's like a tongue twister. Pimple patches in the past. Pyunkang Yule's patches are a lot thinner in my opinion, I guess. I never really compared all of them, but to me, I feel like this one from Pyunkang Yule are the thinnest I've ever used. In terms of sizes, I feel like they are a little bit more manageable compared to Cosrx's, but at the same time, it's so thin that any force that I use on it, like if I pick it with my fingernails or if I use a tweezer, it creates a dent on the actual patch, and then I don't know if that makes the patch worse or better. I don't know, but it's just annoying that I see my fingernail prints in the patch when I try to, you know, remove it from the sticker sheet. I wish I had Elizavecca's pimple patches with me. They're in my bathroom and there was an accident in the bathroom. Not like a number 2 or like a number 1. It's like my skincare spilled all over the place and then my pimple patches were in the pile of things that got spilled over. I have to deal with that later. So I'm gonna put a photo of Elizavecca somewhere on the screen. So Elizavecca's pimple patches to me are the most affordable patches in the market right now, and I think they go for like $5 to $6 for I think 40 or 48 patches. Again, I'll put it on the screen. And because it's the most affordable, I would also say that quality of these patches are not the greatest. They are thicker, they're not as translucent, they are a little bit more pigmented, so there's definitely no doubt that someone would notice the pimple patches on your face. But again, if you're like me and you don't care about how people see you, then go for this one because it's so cheap. And you really only want to apply the pimple patches once your pimple has broken the skin and reared its end. What? Crowned? No, that's for childbirth. Once your pimple pops, right? Or once the pimple itself breaks through the skin layers, that's when you want to slap the pimple patch on top of it so that it prevents any bacteria from entering the open wound. The key to using pimple patches is to use it after you cleanse and before you use any kind of toners, treatments, or moisturizers, especially moisturizers. Basically, any topical products you want to use after you apply the pimple patches. This is because you really want to make sure your pimple patches are adhering to your skin and only to your skin without any other products. Because the hydrocolloid needs to adhere to the actual skin and not other ingredients, especially if it's like oil-based or water-based ingredients. That changes the formula of the actual patch. Therefore, your patch will not stick onto your skin as it actually should or need to. In other words, you don't want to mess with the pimple patches ingredients that's in the actual sticky side because that's really what needs to go on your skin and not on top of layers of other skincare products. And if you're worried like, oh, what if like my skin underneath the pimple patch is not hydrated enough without a toner or a cream? Don't worry. That's literally the point of a hydrocolloid patch. The ingredients in these patches will keep your skin moisturized and contained and taken care of as it protects your skin and your acne area. Man, I wish I had these pimple patches back in high school. Anyways, again, if you feel like you've been battling with acne for a super long time, it might be better for you to see a dermatologist if you are able to afford that. That way you can be even more sure about what's causing your acne. Otherwise, I hope this video helps in the smallest way possible. Again, I'll leave all these products links in the down bar below for you guys to check out in case you guys are interested. Please help the channel grow by subscribing and sharing this video with your friends and family. Thank you for watching and I will see you guys next time, but until then, be safe, stay hydrated, and most importantly, what is it? Be gentle with yourself. 안녕, come back for more. 주세요. Bye bye.